When did you realize your parents never loved you? My adoptive parents kicked me out when I turned 18. They said it was time for me to learn how to take care of myself. I actually believed them and thanked them for making me more independent. 5 years later, they called and asked if I could help them move. I'd been sending them $200 every month since they kicked me out. Our phone calls always went the same way. First came the small talk about the weather, and then mom would sigh. Had to choose between my arthritis medicine and the electric bill again this month, she'd say. Dad would grab the phone and add his part. You're so blessed to have that job. Wish we had options like that. By the end of the call, I'd be logging into my banking app to send another transfer. When I was 14, they drove me to the grocery store for my first day of work. Every Friday, I'd come home with my paycheck, and mom would be waiting at the kitchen table with her hand out. I'd sign the back and slide it across to her. She'd fold it carefully and put it in her purse while telling me this was how family worked. Sunday mornings at church, she'd stand up during prayer requests and dab at her eyes while talking about the challenges of raising a troubled teen who needed so much extra help. The congregation would shake their heads and press envelopes into her hands after service. She'd hold those envelopes tight against her chest like they were made of gold. That Saturday in June, they had to meet with their lawyer about selling the house. We need you to pack up the office while we're at the lawyer's, mom said over the phone. Just put everything from the filing cabinet into boxes and label them. We trust you. I got there after they'd already left. I started with the top drawer and kept going down. Financial papers and tax stuff all went into boxes. Then I got to the bottom drawer. There was a folder with my name on it. My hands shook as I opened it and saw 20 years of bank statements with the same deposit every month. $800 from the state of California. Adoption subsidy payments that mysteriously stopped the exact month I turned 18, which was when they kicked me out. Behind those were investment account statements showing they'd saved up $240,000 in an account they opened the year they got me. The folder got thicker as I kept pulling out papers. Thank you letters from dozens of churches for their generous donations to help with my severe behavioral issues and learning disabilities that I never actually had. Tax returns where they'd claimed thousands in medical expenses for therapy sessions I never attended and medications I never took. Every lie was right there in black and white. In the back of the cabinet, I found 2 more adoption files with different kids' names but the same paperwork. My stomach turned as I dialed Ashley's number from the file. She picked up after a few rings, and when I explained who I was, her voice went quiet. She told me they made her work from 14 and took all her money. They kicked her out when the check stopped, then told everyone at church she was an ungrateful runaway. The other kid went through the same thing. I was still sitting at their kitchen table with everything spread out when I heard their car pull up. My heart was pounding, but I didn't move. They walked in laughing about something and stopped dead when they saw me surrounded by their secrets. My mother looked at the papers, then at me, and actually smiled like she was proud. She said I owed them for 18 years of food and shelter. My father picked up one of the bank statements like it was nothing and said raising me was an investment that was supposed to pay off. No shame at all in his voice. They explained how they specifically picked foster kids because the subsidy money was guaranteed, and 3 kids over 20 years built their whole retirement fund. My mother said they didn't feel bad because we had it better than in foster care. I was shaking so hard the table was moving, and my father looked at me with disgust. You're being dramatic. My mother sat down across from me and folded her hands like we were having a normal conversation. We were better off than in foster care, she said. 5 years of opening my fridge to see nothing but expired condiments and a pack of noodles because I just sent them another 200. 5 years of my friends posting vacation photos while I picked up extra shifts to cover what I sent them. 5 years of telling my roommate they were just protective when she saw me crying after their guilt trip phone calls. 5 years of being too stupid to see what was right in front of me. I took pictures of every single document before I left that house forever. Ashley and I filed fraud reports with the IRS together, and the investigation moved faster than we expected. 2 months later, federal agents showed up at their new retirement home in Florida and arrested them both for tax fraud. The church demanded all their donations back once word got out about the scam. My parents lost everything they stole from us.